You're watching West Wednesday 592, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you guys. So we have no special guests tonight. I just wanted to cover self-care during the holidays, especially when you're missing your loved one who was murdered or just not around. So if you stay tuned, we'll be right back after we play the video that we play daily when we're online. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you say that? That's
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly.
Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck.
I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper wear with it. There's no such thing as improper wear.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get that.
Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Dad, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they can never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight. My check.
Mic
Mic
check.
check.
It's a little choppy again.
Is it better now or worse? Or the
It's
same?
much better.
Yeah, this is just weird. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Get back on that. I'm sorry, guys, for the little technical difficulties that we're experiencing, but I wanted to make sure you were able to hear me clearly. And every time I'm in my house, it's always some foolishness. But again, the video that we showed you was a video that we show every week, unfortunately, when we're online. And it breaks my heart each time. But tonight, I don't want to talk about heartbreaking things. I want to talk about things that come from a loving space. And I just want to start off with something that someone sent me when my brother first passed away. And it says, give me 1 second. Death takes the body, God takes the soul. Our minds hold the memories. Our heart keeps the love, and our faith lets us know we will meet again. So that has always been encouraging to me. And, it's just sad when you have a loved one missing, at your dinner table. It's really sad, especially like near the holidays, you can get into a depressed state, and a lot has been happening. And I feel like right now we're in a spiritual warfare. This isn't the West Coalition. This is strictly to Wanda Jones. But I feel like right now we're in a spiritual warfare. Like a lot of things are happening at once. Like I remember back in the day, like you can handle and gather through, like get through different things. But right now, my screen went black. So I don't know. Mic check. Can you guys see me?
Uh-huh.
All right. So Rachel, if you don't mind, I think put the picture of me, because I think we're gonna keep on having technical problems. So if you could just take me off camera, and I'm gonna turn my camera off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn my camera off. All right, thank you. Yeah, so guys, I apologize for the technical difficulties that we are experiencing, but I'm gonna read. I don't know if you heard me the first time, but I want to read what I read that always been profound to me, that touched me, that someone sent me when my brother first was murdered. And it says, death takes the body, God takes the soul. Our mind holds the memories, and our heart keeps the love. Our faith let us know that we will meet again. So, and that's not the West Coalition. That's strictly me speaking from a place of love, prayer, hope, faith, and all of that. So I just want to encourage anybody that's going through stuff. As I was stating, I feel like right now we're in a spiritual warfare, and what's happening is it's just so much being tossed at us at one time. It's like unbearable to like kind of maneuver through all the foolishness. I remember years ago, you can just have like one big major problem, and then you can kind of take your time, breathe, grieve, and work yourself through it. But now it's like everything is being tossed at one time unexpectedly, and you're like, what in the world is going on? So it's a lot. And I just want to encourage everybody, just always, no matter what, just know that, just like I remember Uncle Bill had first said, and that was profound to me, if you can figure it out, then it's an easy solution. My thing is, every time I face difficulties, I try to just figure out, like, okay, instead of being stuck there, how can I move past this? And then I always think about the love. I always think about a happy place or space that keeps my mind guided. So I just encourage you guys to do that, because it's really hard. Like, when your loved one is not there. And I really feel sorry. And my heart goes out to a lot of grieving parents that have lost their children. Like, it's one thing for me to lose my big brother, who was like a father figure, my best friend, my everything. But then you got the ones, parents that are losing their children, fathers that are losing their sons, mothers that are losing their daughters. Like, it's just sad. And it doesn't even matter at the end of the day if your loved one was murdered by a police officer or a civilian on the street. Murder is murder, but it's just devastating. And I always make the point of, at least when it happens, and not to sound petty, but when someone on the street murders you, if you get all the evidence and all that stuff, and that person gets convicted and things of that nature, they'll lock that person up. You probably never see them again, depending on. But with us, it's the dog and pony show, and you know who the police are, you know what they did, and they're still doing nothing but blowing smoke up our behinds, and just passing the torch around. Everybody can't do something. It's
It looks like Tawanda has dropped off, but she'll be back momentarily.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, sorry it went out. I apologize again. I don't know what part it went out at, but I was just making the statement of the difference that when an officer kills our loved ones or brutalizes us, because unfortunately, a lot of victims survive. A lot of victims survive, and then they feel bad because they're like, oh, and they kind of downplay their pain, their trauma, and they shouldn't. And my heart goes out to anybody and everybody that's like suffering through something, because even if you didn't like lose someone through murder or something, your loved one could be sick and in the hospital, and you're just worried and they're not there physically at that table. And my heart just goes out to everybody, and I'm just trying to let everybody know we can get through this, and love is the key to life. Love is the key to everything. So always, no matter what you go through, just always think about love. Like Monday, like all I expected to do was, I was supposed to be hanging out with my best friend, one of my best friends. I thank God I have so many best friends and sisters and people that I call family members that are not blood but just out of love. But I was literally supposed to be hanging out with her to go and watch the game, and those were my plans. And quickly, and I don't know if it was God saving me from something, but quickly my son injured his foot and toe, like a big box fell and knocked his whole entire toenail off. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And literally that day, I didn't have a lunch break. So I had a lunch break, but I had to take care of business. So I didn't have that unwind time to get my mind mentally together, especially when you work with children that you have to come from. That's a passion of mine. So I love working with kids, but it's definitely a tough job, just being there mentally and spiritually and physically for the babies, and not being able to unwind, and then literally had to go through that, and then being in the emergency room stuck all the way to like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then so much stuff happened in between that, like it's crazy. But what navigated me through all that was just love. I'm just like, the whole time I'm just thanking God, and I'm just thinking of all the things that I love, all the people that support me. And then as soon as I'm getting my mind right, then I call my other bestie, Adina, my sister, and we're on the phone talking. I'm thinking somebody's grabbing my arm because I started to feel my arm freaking moving. I'm like, what? Then it's this racist guy. Instead of him, all he had to do was look at me and apologize and say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But he didn't do that. What he did was like mean mug me, and then I went off. I forgot I was a child of God. I forgot everything, and I literally went off. And then if that wasn't enough, he actually came back out the other side where he was cleaning at, and literally one of the nurses that was like checking my son foot because it was so packed in the emergency room, we couldn't even have room. That was our room out in the hallway up against this glass thing that I didn't even know was glass moving nothing because the seats were like set properly right there, and it was like a shade. So I'm just like, okay, we're out in this hallway. Never knew that something could move behind me or anything. But my point is, even through that foolishness, I let love be the light. Like I laughed and I joked with my friend Adina. We were cracking up, even though I went off and she was on the phone. And I apologize, sis, for you seeing me in that other light because I don't like to go there, you know. But at the end of the day, after that experience, I just like let love just like take over my mind and things like that. And I even prayed for the guy. Like I'm just like, you know, because sometimes people be stuck in their own darkness that they don't even see or realize what they're doing around them. And love breaks through all that. So I'm just urging everybody, just take care of yourself. Like just think of all the wonderful memories. If you're missing a loved one at the end of the table, that glue of the family, you be that glue of the family. You just, you know, think about instead of like sad things, think about the love that they brought. So instead of me being sad, because like every year, every Thanksgiving, while I'm cooking, true story, I be talking to my best friend Kara, who lives in Atlanta, and we be on the phone all night while I'm cooking and all that stuff. But I be crying with her, laugh with her. But I promised myself this year, because I feel like God has blessed me in so many ways and connected me to so many people that really love me, that I'm going to let that be the light. I'm not going to cry tonight. Like I'm going to cook my food, and I always cook my food with love, even in my sadness. Like I have, remember one time having had on a face mask because I was sick, you know, and I still cooked a loving big whole feast for my family. But I just said the holidays, you know, and it should, every day should be a holiday because it's a day that you wake up and you get to, you know, live your life. And we know that some days are better than others. Like one day you could feel literally on top of the world, and then at that split second it could feel like the whole entire world is on top of you. But I just urge you, please just take care of yourself. If you need to talk to someone, call someone that you could talk to. If you're into prayer, call someone that can pray for you, but stay away from negativity, because when you're in a dark spot and you got somebody else in a dark spot, you're not going to easily come up out of that dark spot, because if they're not going to be refreshing enough to help navigate you through it, it can bring you down. Or, you know, you got to watch out for your triggers and traumas, and everybody has their own triggers and traumas, you know. And I just pray for all of us. I pray for all the families that night. And it was so sweet of my son. And that's why, like, I love all my children to death, but he literally turned all his pain off. And the first thing he said was, "Ma, I really feel sorry. There's so many people." And he started saying a prayer for everybody, literally, that was in the emergency room. And then, like, he just was like, kind of like downsizing his pain. Like, even though his pain felt like it was a 10, but every time the nurse would come check on him, he'd say, "Oh, it felt like a 4," because he knew that if he upped the ante, somebody might have been, you know, seen left. But I'm just like, oh my God, like, that's my son. Like, so my whole point is, no matter what you go through, it's always a way to figure it out. And I feel so sorry for like people that have literally committed suicide because they felt like it was no other way. Like it was just too much. And that's how the enemy works. It'll make you see, you know, no light. It will blow all the light and all the positive energy out and just have you stuck in darkness. I urge you, don't ever get caught in darkness. And anybody that know me, you know my phone number, call me, whatever, you know, I'll be up. Like if you need me to come to you, I'll come to you, or you can come to me, however. But I don't want to see nobody suffering that, because, you know, you can easily get caught in a dark place. And the first thing, when you're caught in that dark place, you start beating yourself up big time, feeling like a fool, feeling like, why didn't I do this? But think about all the blessings that you have. Like, count our blessings one by one, you know. And once we do that, it'll kind of like knock all the foolishness out, or at least help a little bit, but don't get stuck in a dark place. And if you do get stuck in a dark place, please don't do it alone. Like, that's the worst that you can do, is actually entertain the enemy in darkness by yourself. Like, you definitely not gonna win. Like, cause it's gonna like overwhelm you, all type of stuff gonna happen. And you need somebody, even if you need somebody to say a quick prayer or send positive energy, just know that try to connect to somebody, especially somebody that's kind of positive. Because, like I said, you don't want to connect to the wrong person and then they make you feel worse. So I just wanted to tell you guys I love you. I wanted to tell you guys that, it's sad, and unfortunately tonight, and that's why I love the West, my West Coalition. They're my family as well as my biological family. I love my family, and I'm sending love out to my brother children, because I know right now that they're in a difficult spot. They're missing their dad. Yeah, that's my big brother. But to them, that was their father that raised them. That was the father that made them, participate in the making of them. So I'm just sending lots of love to my brother children as well as grandchildren that he didn't get to meet. And it's just so sad. I'm just sending love to like everybody that's needs it. Right now, I'm sending you guys virtual hugs and everything, because it's real. Like it's really real out here in these streets, and we're gonna need each other. Like, we're literally going to need each other. And I believe too, sometimes when like bad stuff happens and we're like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Like, when we have those feelings where we're moving along in a situation, and then all of a sudden it feels like you're thrown back to square one. It's like I always say, like the game of life, you hit that one little spot and it say go back to start. You like, damn, you already feeling like a champion. You like, oh my goodness, I'm about to win. Everybody's at back of me. I got some people on the side of me playing out, but I'm getting close to the end of this game, about to the finishing line. And I'm about to win. And then you get that one card or that one thing that able to say go back to start. And you like, you gotta be kidding me. But even if you get to go back to start, I urge you, go back to start, start all over, and this time keep it pushing even harder. Like, we have to think of new ways and new inventions. Like, I know they say you can't create the wheel, but you can tweak it. You can tweak it. You definitely can tweak it. So, with that being said, with everything that's coming up and that's going to be happening as we approach 2025, just keep hope alive. Just keep hope alive. Don't let it end. Like, literally, I started like seeing 2020. In 2020, it was clear vision for me. That's when like everything hit. Like, what? And then like each year had a significant meaning to me. And literally in 2024, I never thought this year, like, I would see the things and experience the things that I've been experiencing and seeing. Like, you could think you're gonna be in a relationship with a person forever, and it just ended. And you like, what the hell just happened? Like, what I missed? But then God has a way to move people out your life, to move the right people in there. And I'll say that again: God has a way to move the right people in your life, and just know that everything happens for reasons, lifetime, and seasons. And sometimes we try to take seasonal people, seasonal things for a lifetime. And it don't work like that. Once their season passed, it was meant for them to be in your life, doing the wonderful things with you, building memories, building strong bonds that nobody can break. But it was for that season. But then you have the lifetime people that are never going anywhere. No matter what storm, no matter what, those lifetime people will be around forever. Those lifetime, and then it's those purpose people, and they're in your life for a reason. It's like, I don't even know why they're here, but then after you go through it with them, and then you'll figure it out. Like, okay, this was the purpose. They were here to either make me stronger or make me look at myself another way or whatever. You'll see that person was there for a purpose or whatever. But I said all that to say, as we go through these holidays, and I know it's challenging, and my heart goes out, like I said, first of all, to anybody that's going through depression, anybody that's suffering from the loss of a child, a father, a loved one, a friend, anything. Please just make sure you take care of yourself, and make sure that you remember that your loved one, they're okay. Because guess what? We are the ones literally beating ourselves up, suffering and all that stuff. And they're, they're at a resting place. Well, we're not. We're not resting. How can you rest when you have no justice? When there is no justice, there is no peace. And I seen our state's attorney, with his federal partners, and he act like they did a big takedown of all this drug operation, and they was watching. They had their little seats on, talking on the news and sounding off, flying. Yeah, make sure you pack a toothbrush. Use that same energy with you and your federal partner. Use that same energy and take down these crooked ass cops. And I'll say that again. Use that energy that you're using to actually take down people in the community. Use that energy, especially since you knew about the gun trace task force. Like you are a part of that. Use that energy and get rid of those corrupt officers. Why the hell is Michelle Battle still able to work in the prosecutor's office and she get to marry somebody and then it blocks my family from accountability? Why is it that Darnell Rochester's mother, poor mom, is fighting for accountability? Her baby is supposed to be here at her table celebrating. Why the hell can't she get accountability? So use that energy and put that energy into the community. Make us safe first, because I guarantee you, you cross you cross those T's and dot those I's on our end. Then the community comes together. Then we'll be safe. And then you'll see less violence. And then the way, and I'll say this, the way all the murders of police brutality victims, and it's not even the victims that survive. Because I guarantee you, if we're reading the numbers within like a week or two, you're reading over 40 something names. We have a lot of names, unfortunately, tonight to read to you guys. But my point is, what about the victims that survived that went down and said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to the fraternal order of police, which is a goddamn joke. But when you're going through something, you don't know. You hear, okay, they're going to do an internal investigation and I'm going to get accountability. And that internal investigation is nothing. All they're going to do is cover their hind parts. That's it. That's all they're going to do. It's going to be a regurgitation of what the officers that brutalized you said or killed your loved one said, and then, oh, we did an investigation. It's the meeting before the meeting. And what I mean by that, and every time I go to these little phony town hall meetings, they're like, oh, this is a community forum. We want you guys input. But literally, they already done met before they come meet with us. They're like, you know what? We're going to do A, B, C, and D. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. But we're going to bull crap and do the dog and pony show in front of the community. Let them talk as much as they want. While they're talking, we're going to even be rude and get on our cell phones, texting, falling asleep. We're going to do all that. We're going to cut them off. We're going to cut their mic. We only gonna get them, even though they got so much of trauma and then they really want to be heard. We ain't even gonna get them no more than 2 minutes. They're lucky if we get them 2 minutes to act like we want to pretend that we're listening. So I said all to say, we have to still love up on each other. We don't get it, shut it down. And what I mean, shut it down, is like literally if we have to like form something to where as though we don't go to work and we're just outside City Hall making them. That's why they get always shook. If you look at any type of uprising, they get shook because everybody's pulling together. It's that one cause, that one fight, that one purpose thing. They can't stand us like that. That's like when you have Christians or Muslims, you have people that don't even believe in God. You have Lottie Dottie and everybody holding hands saying, you know what, we don't get it, let's shut it down. And unfortunately, it's sad because they don't realize stuff until stuff start burning down. And it's sad. And I'm not telling nobody to burn anything down, because guess what? In all these 592 weeks, we ain't never burned nothing down. We ain't never knocked nothing down. We ain't never been, negative. We always been positive. So they won't spin a lie and say, oh, Miss Jones today, even though I've been accused of so many horrific things that they know wasn't true. But I divest. I'm not even going to talk about that. But my whole point is, we have to pull together, stay in a loving stance, but we really have to fight this dirty system. Like, it's not broke. It never was fixed. It's doing what it have to do. But the main part of everything, if we don't take care of ourselves, guess what? How are we going to fight a system? Like, how are we going to fight anything? Take care of yourself first. If that means literally, if you have to step away from the movement to be like, guess what? I wouldn't feel like people done stepped away from West Wednesday for years. Like I could see somebody's face and then I won't see him for like 5, 6 years go by. And I'm like, hey, what's up, baby? Give him the same hug, show him the same love. That's how I'm not judging you. I'm like, take care of yourself. So, like I said, tonight, if you start feeling sad, depressed about anything, come up out of that dark spot because guess what? We have too much of blessings that we can outweigh the foolishness. Like think about whatever makes you happy. I don't care if that's sitting there, if you drink Starbucks and eat a donut, that makes you feel better. If that's your happy space, guess what? Go to Starbucks, get you whatever you get your little donut, whatever makes you happy, do it. Like, and I'm just thank God food makes me happy. So when I get my depressed states, I eat like I'm over 600 pounds, but that's something else. But my whole point is just take care of yourself because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone. So right now, I'm gonna drop the mic. I heard my sister Kalia on here where I saw her in queue before my phone went out and I had to turn my camera off. So if she's still in queue, I will ask our beautiful queen. And I'm so thankful for, first of all, I'm thankful for each and every last one of you guys. I'm thankful for everybody out there that's commenting, that's watching. I'm thankful for everybody. So I just want to let you guys know I love you guys. And I'm going to pass it over to Kalia if she's still on here so she can read our comments. And unfortunately, after that, because I don't want to hold everybody, I want us to go, I'll read out, disclaimer and then we'll go into the sad list because we have a lot of names and I'm not trying to make people sad and I'm trying to keep us in a happy space. But mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you, Tawanda. Yes, we do have a lot of comments. Starting off, of course, with many mic checks from me, Angela, Judah, and AC Britt. She also said yes to one of your points earlier. Bruce came in, said good evening, and mic check. Mainism came and said mic check. AC Britt said they're always messing with her connection. I said, great point, Tawanda. We need to honor and care for all people hurt by police violence, survivors included. AC Britt said, you're good. You had every right to be upset and let it be known. He was a creep. AC Britt also said yes. I swear they do that dog and pony drug bust every year around the same time. They know where the drugs and guns are because they're the kingpins.
That part.
AC Britt also commented a burning heart emoji. And I commented, the scariest thing for politicians is worker unity. We need to shut it down every chance we get. Mic check.
Mic check. Awesome. Great points, guys. And also, before we go into that, I wanted to ask anybody on here if they want to share anything to lift people's spirits up or share anything that they want us to know before I actually read our disclaimer. Mic check. Well, awesome. So I'm not gonna. I said I was gonna read it, but if like flip because I have it saved in my memory on my phone, but I'm scared it's gonna make me go out again. So I'm just gonna freestyle from my heart, and then we'll take 2 minutes, which 2 minutes isn't enough time. Is what the politician does. But sorry, I'm gonna play the politician for the night. And just like give us 2 minutes literally to stand in solidarity for families and everything that's going through something. And I also wanted to send love out to Sean Bell's family. Sean Bell was born on May the 18th, 1983, and unfortunately on November the 25th, 2006, this beautiful soul, this beautiful young man, this handsome young man was murdered. Like literally, how do your car get in an accident? He was like ready to get murdered. He had a whole life ahead of him. Young, powerful brother, and you going, and then some racist person murder you. Like it's so sad. And for me to be able to embrace and meet his grandmother, and unfortunately, may she rest in peace. She's no longer here with us, and that's what I mean by like sadness and grief that overtakes our heart. But again, like I started before I read our non disparagement, I wanted to read what I wrote again, if I could find it, and then we'll take the 2 minutes. Give me, okay, it's right here. So I started off the night by saying, and this is to Wanda Jones, not the West Coalition. Death takes the body, God takes the soul. Our mind holds the memories, and the heart keeps the love. And our faith lets us know we will meet again. So, with that being said, and I'm sending love to my family because we're missing my cousin Tavon Anderson. It's hard. I'm sending love out to my auntie, my cousin Jamie. Like, this is heartbreaking and devastating, and like just to anyone. And I don't want to get sad. So, let me just go on and say what I feel from my heart, and then we'll take our 2 minutes. It's the mission of the West Coalition to pretty much uphold all the names of police brutality and even the victims that didn't even get murdered. But we're here just for a purpose, to spread awareness that police brutality is very real and it's very deadly, it's very brutal. And we're here to say we have had beyond enough. And so when we read names, unfortunately, on a community violence list of people that were murdered to community violence, or in my opinion, because it's never proved that it's community violence, especially the unsolved cases, and we have many of those. But for the ones that we believe that's community violence, our heart goes hand in hand with the police brutality victims as well. That's someone loved one. We don't even know the person or the people that we're reading about, but we're just standing and we're coming from a loving place. Like, we have no direct details about none of the cases involved, because we get our information, our data, we get it from a national level and also a local level. But we don't know anything, no type of details about that surrounds the case. So we are sorry if we offend anyone. I apologize in advance, but we're just, like I said, coming from a loving place. And we also believe in mediation. I'm a big fan believer of mediation, because I'd rather sat down at a table and we could talk about it and everybody can walk away in peace. You get to walk when you come and you're going through something, and you just kind of like say, let's have this uncomfortable conversation, but at the same time, let's respect each other. We can agree to disagree. And that way, the end of the day, nobody's murdered, nobody's beat up, nobody's hurt. We believe in that. So we're big on peace. So with that being said, when you hear these names, it may just sound like a typical name to you, but guess what? It's someone loved one. Just imagine if it was your loved one on a community violence list or on a police brutality list. Murder is murder, and no one deserves to be brutally murdered by anyone. No one deserves that. We have a hard time accepting when our loved ones are sick with sicknesses and they die. That's a hard pill to swallow. But it's even hard when someone was snatched from murder, whether it was community violence or police brutality. So at this moment, the time now is 8:08, 8:10. We will come back, and unfortunately, and don't even let those names sadden you, but just send love to those families. Send positive energy to those families. If you pray, send prayers to those families. Mic check.
Mic check.
Check.
All right, guys, thank you so much for holding in and for sending all that positive. I felt the positivity. I could feel the love. I feel the prayers that are going out to the names that unfortunately we're attached to do. And a big shout out to my brother Brian, that always like read it even if he doesn't feel like it, and Uncle Bill and Hillary and any of us, and Adina, like if she was in person, she takes the time to read the list. And I'm sending lots of love to my sister Angela. I love you. I can't wait till you come to Baltimore because you know we gotta go to Texas Roadhouse. I'm waiting for us to get together. But anyway, I'm gonna hand it over to whoever got the community violence and the police brutality list. Mic check.
Mic
Mike,
check.
Mic check.
Thank you, Twanda. I'm have the community violence list. Again, it's too long a list. It's one name is too long a list, but here we are. And so, I ask that we just lift these people's names up, um, and send whatever positive emotion we can to their loved ones, and dedicate ourselves to a world where there is no list to be read. Kiara Tripp,
PR
Kiara
Trip.
Tripp.
Marcus Holloway,
Marcus
Marcus
Holloway.
Holloway.
Gary Matthews Jr.,
Gary
Gary Matthews
Matthews
Jr.
Jr.
Reginald Allen Jr.,
Reginald.
Reginald
Allen
Allen
Jr.
Jr.
Leonardo Espinoza Salomon,
Leonardo
Leonardo Espinosa Salomon.
Marquise Hill,
Marquise Hill.
Hill.
thank you.
Thank you. And then also a big shout out because I'd be remiss if I didn't say that how Hillary reads the names as well. So a big shout out to her because I know that's a task that she doesn't want either. So I don't know who has the
I have
police
it.
brutality. Oh, you still here? Okay, cool, Hillary.
I have it.
Awesome.
The list this week is really long. It's from November 7th all the way to November 20th. There are 41 names on it, so please bear with me. And let's remember as we're listening to these names to think of the families and communities that all of these folks come from, and the huge communities and the people who are impacted by this loss. I will start reading the list, and just let's join together in sending much love their way. Thank you, Tawanda, for talking about love tonight.
Thank
So,
you.
to start, on November 7th in Holiday, Texas, 28-year-old male, Corey Drake.
Corey
Drake.
Drake,
Also on November 7th in San Bernardino, California, 48-year-old male, Albert Rodriguez Jr.
Albert
Albert
Rodriguez
Rodriguez,
Jr.
Also on November 7th in Independence, Missouri, 34-year-old woman, Maria Pike.
Maria Pike.
Maria Pike,
Also on November 7th, also in Independence, Missouri, a 1-year-old female, Destiny Hope.
Oh my God, Destiny Hope.
Let's take a breath with that one.
Oh my goodness.
Also on November 7th in Austin, Texas, 27-year-old Zachary Labrie.
Zachary Labrie.
Also on November 8th in Grand Rapids, Michigan, 38-year-old Henry Weimer.
Henry
Weimer,
On November 8th in Mount Joy, PA, 22-year-old male, Ricky Shannon.
Ricky
Shannon.
On November 8th in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, also 19-year-old female whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. I say.
Ashe.
Ashe.
On November 8th in Garnerville, Nevada, unknown age, a male named John Brown.
John
Brown. Sorry.
Okay. On November 9th in Christiansburg, Virginia, 43-year-old male, Joshua Gallimore.
Joshua Gallimore.
On November 9th in Raytown, Missouri, 32-year-old male, Kenneth Williams.
Kenneth Williams.
On November 9th in Eagle Lake, Florida, 52-year-old male, Charles Edwards Jr.
Charles Edwards Jr.
On November 9th in St. Paul, Minnesota, 37-year-old male, Michael Stowers.
Michael Stowers.
On November 10th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 47-year-old male, Jonathan Corbin.
Jonathan Corbin.
On November 10th in Waldport, Oregon, 38-year-old female, Virginia Morris.
Virginia Morris.
On November 10th in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 16-year-old male, Ab Kun. On November 10th in Boise, Idaho, 47-year-old male, Guadalupe Reyes. On November 11th in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 30-year-old male, Anthony Hernandez.
Anthony Hernandez.
On November 11th in Midland, Texas, an unknown male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On November 11th in Medina, Ohio, 43-year-old male, Charles Alexander.
Alexander.
On November 13th in Phoenix, Arizona, an unknown male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
On November 13th in San Diego, California, 26-year-old male, Christopher Farrell.
Christopher Farrell.
On November 13th in Gary, Indiana, 21-year-old male, Howard Richmond. On November 13th in Fargo, North Dakota, 65-year-old male, Peter Greco.
Peter
Greco.
On November 13th in Palmetto, Georgia, 23-year-old male, Jason Wilson.
Jason Wilson.
Also on November 14th in Fair Oaks, California, 24-year-old male, Israel Price.
Israel Price.
On November 24th in McComb, Mississippi, 16-year-old male, Jamorian
Hybrid.
On November 15th in Spring Valley, California, 34-year-old male, Victor Rendon Jr. On November 16th in Tampa, Florida, a male, unknown age, name withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On November 17th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 30-year-old male, Michael Preston Robinson.
Michael Preston Robinson.
On November 17th in Perry, Florida, unknown person whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
On November 17th in Lawson, Missouri, 26-year-old male, Brett Yeager.
Brett
Yeager.
Yeager.
On November 18th in Cincinnati, Ohio, 42-year-old male, Taria Brown.
Taria
Maria
Brown.
Brown.
On November 18th in Reno, Nevada, 25-year-old male, Christopher Gary.
Christopher Gary.
Gary.
On November 18th in Roswell, New Mexico, 30-year-old male, Timothy Riley.
Edney Riley.
Riley.
On November 18th in West Haven, Utah, 30-year-old male, James Cadell.
James Cadell.
On November 18th in North Canton, Ohio, 68-year-old male, James Vaness.
James Vanette.
On November 19th in Littleton, Colorado, 35-year-old male, Keith Byer.
Keith Pryor.
Keith Pryor.
On November 19th in Conover, North Carolina, male whose age is unknown but whose name is Michael Rose.
Michael Rose.
On November 19th in Virginia Beach, Virginia, 43-year-old male, Brandon Clausen.
Brandon Clausen.
Rossi.
On November 19th in Long Beach, California, 38-year-old male, Brandon Boyd.
Brandon Boyd.
And finally, on November 20th, in Stevensville, Montana, unknown age, but a male whose name is Lawrence Conklin.
Lawrence Conklin.
And that completes this horrible list of people who were killed by the police in this country during that period of time. Let's wish much love to all of their families.
Thank you so much, Hillary. Much love. Thank you. Yeah, that's so sad. That whole entire list broke my heart. And then when I hear a baby that was 1 year old, like it just like chipped and shredded into pieces, shattered into pieces. Disgusting. But
I'm sure the
again,
officer feared for his life.
of course, he might have saw a pacifier or a bottle, but
Disgusting.
very disgusting. But again, just remember, take care of yourself. Like enjoy these holidays. Just enjoy every day because even though a lot is coming at us, every day is truly a blessing. That's the day you can hit the restart button and start all over again. So remember, live to love, love to live. I love you all, and we will see you and notify you where we're going to be at next week because I plan on being somewhere in the streets of Baltimore. So, again, enjoy happy Thanksgiving and just enjoy everything. So, love you guys. Have a good one. And unfortunately, the way we brought you in with that sad video, that's true about victims. Like when you see those people talking, those are victims of one of the first killer cops. Even though it was 17, the one was Ruiz, but I want each and every last one of them. I may not highlight all 17, but I want each and every last one of them. And it's just sad. I wish nothing but karma on them. They get to enjoy their turkey and their family. Meanwhile, we have to struggle and deal with all this pain that they created, that they started. But that's a whole nother topic. Again, I'm trying to be as positive as possible. So just enjoy eating good food, enjoy your families, enjoy your friends, just enjoy every second that we are granted to be on this earth. I love you guys, and we will see you next week. Please stay tuned for the video. If you're on YouTube, all we ask you to do is hit the like, share, and subscribe. We know police brutality is not a popular topic. topic, but it's definitely needed and very needed to be educated about because it's real. Don't wait until it happens to your family and then you're like, wait a minute, this system is so dirty. I can't believe, because unfortunately I believed in this system until I got, pulled and dragged and signed up to a club I didn't sign up for. So love you guys, enjoy yourself, and yeah, let's get these turkeys to burning and everything else. So and I and I'm thinking of a good memory of my brother, and I'll end on this note. I remember the last and final Thanksgiving we had, I never forget. Me and him, he came, got me, and he said, "Sis," he said, "let's go to the market early." Well, actually, I rode to him, and he just drove us to the market in my car. He's like, "Come on, sis, we gotta go get our food." And then we went Thanksgiving shopping, and he bought everything for me. And I'm like, "Brother, you don't have to do it." He was like, "Oh, I got my job, sis. I'm happy." So we did all our shopping, and then he started cooking his food, and I was cooking mine. We called and check on each other, and then I remember at the last minute he was telling me about his girlfriend at the time. He said that her mother told him to turn the oven up to 450. He was like, "Sis, my turkey came out all dry and burned." I was like, "What?" And I was like, she told you to put it on what?" So we cracked up. He's like, "Man, why is she hating on my turkey?" So that's a memory that I'll laugh about for the rest of my life. That's something that they can never take from me. And I remember him coming, get my food, and then calling me in the middle like, "Sis, I want to pay you some more. I pay you a couple dollars. Bring me some more of that good food." But that's my big brother. Nothing, even death can't separate the love I have for my brother and my cousin Tavon Anderson. Nothing but love there. So love you guys, and yeah, stay tuned for the video and enjoy your holidays. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No, why you want to fuck with me? Why would you say that?
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the Officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.